I didn't have any money. I wish I could have bought real estate back then. I wish I would have bought this back then or done this. Or if the market crashes, I'll tell you, if the market crashes at least 50 to 60% in the next year or two, I'll probably put some money in the market at that point. I won't do it now because it's just ridiculously overpriced. But if it drops down like that, I'll probably put money back in the stock market because it's not about like whether you do this or that, right? It's about how do you have the, be ready for the opportunity. That's what Joseph Kennedy did. John F. Kennedy's dad, he literally in 1929 was only worth, well, I shouldn't say only, it's pretty cool. He was worth $4 million, which was a lot back then, but he was liquid with cash, bought up all the freaking real estate in Manhattan when it was dirt cheap because everything was deflationary. By 1935, he was worth $100 million. 6 years. He went from, because remember, everybody had no cash. That person that owned, they talk about the golden rule. The person that has the gold makes the rules. He had the cash. He was able to pull his money out of the market before it crashed. He cashed in all his chips, and then he had the money to actually go and buy like real estate, like for literally pennies on the dollar. And that's why he was worth so much later on, and was able to fund the future president.
You actually just kind of ring a bell in my head. I talked to a mutual friend of ours the other day who works in the precious metals industry, and they were saying not many Americans are buying into precious metals. And I know that they're at this all-time high as well, but um, what are your thoughts on that as a investment? Do you feel like it's overvalued too?
Not yet. No, it's not there yet. Now it definitely has seen like a big run up. Yeah, and what you see is you probably won't see as much gains you've seen last year. You definitely won't see that coming future, but I think there's still a lot more value there for sure. Anytime there's what we see right now with very inflationary, where I mean, we already saw the value of our dollar decrease by over 10% in the last year. So a lot of what's happening with metals had nothing to do with the metal itself. It was just the fact that our dollar is becoming worthless and we're running up government debt, right? I mean, all that stuff is contributing to what's happening with this, right? So so is precious metals good? Yes, but I think there's phases. So for example, again, if you're 30, or younger or 40 or younger, right? If you have a little bit, great, but I would buy it not as a way to make money, but buy as an insurance. Because if you've got, remember, we talk about getting liquid with cash. The number one thing is going to ring in your head is like, yeah, but inflation is still kind of high. I don't believe what the government's saying. I don't think it's 3% right now. I think it's much higher. And you're right, it is. So I don't want to sit on cash and then make nothing in my bank. That's why one, I use my life insurance because I'm getting paid more than that and it still stays tax free. But then two, when you use this, like give you an example. I would teach this this is a rule of thumb, not investment advice, just declaration. It's a declaration, but it's also you know a little waiver here. But like I would talk to people about if you have your 6 months reserves, right? Your money sitting in savings. Like I keep my money in savings, a lot of it, some of it in the bank, a lot more of it in my life insurance, and I split it up. Now I have more than what I need for my cash reserves in my life insurance right now because that's money that's ready to go, could be deployed in some investments, but I'm holding back right now. I'm holding back for more time, but at the same time, I still have gold and silver. And I would use that as insurance on my savings because I got money in the bank that isn't making much.